Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the bed and bath niche. Created in December 2015, this business makes $7,396 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 45592. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Dan, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Doing very well, and I'm excited to discuss this FBA business with you. But before we get to the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, it was built in December of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $37,343, expenses of $29,948 to make for a net profit of $7,396, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the Seller Central account with 14 SKUs, trademark, domain and all site content and files, and social media accounts. Please note the inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Dan, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Well, I started about 10, 12 years ago doing arbitrage. And then in 2015, I decided to move to private label. And I realized that there was a need for this product in the market. And I also realized that it was a growing market. It's going to be a very long time before this gets saturated. So I picked that niche because I had a need for it myself, to be honest with you, and there was not that many people selling that on Amazon or eBay or anywhere else. So I decided to go ahead and start with that niche, and I'm glad I did. Since then, it's been like every year I'm making more money than the year before.
Yeah, things have very clearly gone well for you here. So with that said, you have been, as you've said, been making more money year on year. So why have you decided to sell the business?
I have a full-time job and I'm a single dad. And it's getting to a point where, it's kind of hard for me to balance that with my full-time job. I mean, it's only like 10 hours a week that I have to work for it. But sometimes, like a couple of times this year, I ran out of inventory because the business is growing too fast. Sometimes I need more fund to buy inventory. It's just at the point where I either quit my job or kind of hand it off to somebody else and then they can grow it because it's growing beyond what I can handle right now. Being a single dad with a full-time job, it's at the point where I need to either focus on it and grow it bigger or just hand it off to somebody else and just focus on my job.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. That does make me wonder then, you mentioned 10 hours a week typically. What are you doing for work for this business?
Well, basically the 10 hours first. In the morning, I spend like a half hour to see if there are any support questions or anything I need to answer. I also take a look at the reviews if there is anything I need to handle, like a negative review or something. Luckily, I haven't had any in a long time, which is good. Basically, I monitor the product and the inventory and make sure I have enough of everything. That is pretty much it. I mean, I respond to support questions. Some people have questions before they purchase. They want to make sure it will work for their environment. So I answer these questions. Some people have a missing part or something. Luckily, I have those listed on Amazon, so I can send them through Amazon. I used to go to the post office like twice a week and ship stuff, but I found it much easier to send everything to Amazon. And whenever somebody needs an extra part or an accessory or a different size part, I can send it to them through Amazon. So it takes me like 2 minutes to process an order like that. So that is pretty much it.
You mentioned that a couple times over the last year, you've run out of inventory, correct?
Yes.
Can you explain, looking over the last month, there have been a couple months, particularly March of 2019, where there was a little bit of a dip. Was that caused by the stock out?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So it's not like the business had any real bad months or anything. There have just been months where you haven't had any inventory to sell.
Well, I was not able to get the inventory here on time. because of the customs and red tape and issues like that. And it shipped like a week later than it was supposed to. So that's the reason. I was hoping to get it here earlier, but it just got delayed for reasons beyond my control.
So outside of Amazon, you also have a Shopify store, an eBay store, you sell on Houzz. How important are those sales channels to the business?
Out of the three, the website is the one that's been picking up faster. See, that's one thing. I'm really not spending much time promoting that on eBay or on Houzz. I just listed them over there, and if I get a sale, fine. If I don't get a sale, like I said, I'm not doing any marketing, promotion, or advertising or anything for the website. I am not really doing any marketing, like a lot of market. I mean, I had a Google campaign last year for like 2 months or something, and I'm not a pro SEO, optimization, any of that. So I ran it, but I don't have that. Like it's a one-man show, so I cannot do everything. So I ran a campaign, but it was not efficient. It did not really help that much. So I stopped it, and it's just, I guess it ranks organically on Google searches and other search engines. So out of the three avenues that you mentioned, the website, the company website is the one that's been doing better. And if someone is to take over the business, I think they need to focus on that and they need to become as independent of Amazon as possible. Because as you know, Amazon charges fees and stuff like that. So basically, every sale I have on the website, I make more money on any sale than on any sale I make through Amazon. So one of my goals is to promote the website and get it to a point where I'm making more sales from that website than anything else. But like I said, I don't have the knowledge for it. So maybe I'm getting old. you know, He's a guy that, somebody that's on top of all the technology and all the thing and change optimization and all this stuff. So yes, website has been doing much better than that. Next year it will do maybe 3 or 4 times as much as it's doing this year.
Yeah, and you were kind of cutting in and out there. Just want to make sure that, I heard you everything correctly. The website definitely makes the most out of the three other revenue channels. And in your mind, focusing on the website to try to grow outside of Amazon is one of the biggest opportunities because as, obviously you get a bigger percentage of the revenue from a sale made on the website than on Amazon. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm. So outside of growing the Shopify site, what are the other opportunities for growth for this business that you would focus on if you were to keep it?
Well, more efficient Amazon advertising, adding more products. Like right now, I have three main products, and everything else that I have there is parts and accessories for these products. But like right now, I'm working on adding a fourth model to the three models that I have. And hopefully next year, I will be adding two more. So definitely adding more products and more SKUs to the inventory. That is one way to increase sales and better and more efficient advertising within Amazon to generate more sales. Like I said, like I used to be on top of the technology and everything, but right now I'm kind of like falling behind as far as the technology part and social media marketing and PPC and all of these things. I took a couple of courses, but I know that I am not on top of things as far as Amazon PPC and Amazon marketing services and all of these things. I'm not utilizing these services to their potential. I do have advertising campaigns, but they could be trimmed, they could be made more efficient, and they could definitely generate more sales.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
Not that I can think of. It has less potential risk than many of the other niches on Amazon because this niche is growing exponentially. This is something that we have not known here in the United States, where it's been used all over the world for many, many years. And if you look at the reviews, you will find that at least 50% of them, if not more, are first time users. And you look at reviews like, oh my God, I've been living like a caveman for 40 years. Or somebody saying something like, the only regret I have is that I didn't get this 10 years ago. Or. So the market is growing because the awareness is growing because of the health benefits and the hygiene benefits of this product that is recommended by doctors every day. So, I mean, any business, whatever risk that applies to any other business on Amazon, of course, is applicable to this business. But one advantage that this niche has over other niches is the market is growing exponentially. It's growing every year. Every day there are new customers. And I don't want to repeat myself, but at least 50% of my customers are first time users, and they are very happy that they decided to purchase this product. So the only risks I can think of are associated with Amazon itself. If Amazon changes rules or do things, and that's applicable to any other FBA business, not this one.
Would you commit to a non-compete, whereas you're not going to sell this business and then immediately start a new business selling products that are competing with the buyer?
The answer is absolutely yes, I will not compete. Or no, I will not compete and start a similar business. Absolutely not. To be honest with you, part of the reason I'm selling is I would like to retire from my job. I would like to buy like a 10 acre, 15 acre. You know what? Like, I just want to kind of like, I'm looking for kind of like my dream life, like a small farm with animals and stuff like that. I'm getting too old to keep up with all the technology and all this stuff like that. So my next thing would be to have a small farm and have a bunch of animals and just live a peaceful life and enjoy my life like that.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
Well, anything they need. Basically, this is still my business and this is my baby. I came up with the name, I came up with the concept and everything, and I definitely wanted to succeed, whether me running the business or somebody else. So I think in the agreement or like in the initial conversation with you guys, it was mentioned that maybe like 1 month of support by Skype or phone or email or something like that. And totally, I mean, whoever is going to take over this business is going to put some money in it, and they need somebody to hold their hand and to make them feel confident enough until they run the business by themselves. So I would say at least a month of support by email or Skype, if necessary by phone, definitely. I'm open for that too. And I can provide enough documentation as far as the way I'm running the business, as far as the suppliers and any details, anything I can share. I will be happy to put that in writing in an organized and detailed way to share that with the new owner. And anything else they need, really. Like I said, it's my business. I want it to succeed.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout where potentially percentage of the proceeds from the sale would be paid out in the coming months rather than all of it up at front?
Tentatively, yeah, but like how many months are we talking about here?
Oh, nothing is, set on this call and you're not agreeing to anything. The thing I'm looking for is just whether or not you're open to negotiating on things like that with the right buyer.
Yes, I am. But if it comes to the point where I can just keep the business and I'm making this money on my own without selling, I will just keep it. So yes, I will say yes.
Dan, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it. My final question for you, if you were looking at this business from the perspective of a potential buyer, why would you feel like it is an asset worth buying?
I definitely feel like it's an asset worth buying and it's a good niche for the reasons I mentioned. The market is growing, it's not limited. Like if I was selling cell phone cases, for example, or if I was selling cutting boards or so, I mean, the market for that is limited and is saturated. But for this niche, you have a market that grows every day because the awareness is growing and more people are learning about it. So, like looking at the future, I know that this business is going to get bigger and is going to make more money. versus something else that is saturated and is not growing as fast as this one. I don't want to use any examples. That's the main point. If I would look at that as I am buying something that has future. I am buying a niche that is growing every day exponentially. And that's what will make me confident to invest in this niche.
And the business is growing, as you say. So, Dan, absolutely. Thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.